The news is out. England's in for its second lockdown. It's currently Sunday. We're locking down on Thursday. If you want to go out and buy an electric mountain bike between now and then, good luck to you. I've spoke to several shops, very little stock about. So I have a friend who wants to do exactly this. So here's 5 different second-hand electric mountain bikes from eBay you could buy today and ride through lockdown. Could even sell them afterwards if you decide you don't like it. Probably wouldn't lose much money at all. A couple of things just to be clear. No association with anyone who's selling any of these bikes. It's literally an exercise for a friend. The other things I would recommend is look at the other videos that we have about buying bikes, but avoid a bike that is the wrong size. You will have a terrible experience. You won't enjoy it. It doesn't matter what sort of bargain it is. If it doesn't fit you, it's not like a pair of jeans where you can wear a belt. It's not going to be a great experience. And also, always pay on PayPal. You get great buyer protection. Never put your money at risk, especially as someone you've never met, especially if they want a bank transfer. Run a mile. I speak from experience. So let's get started. We've got 5 bikes. The first of these is the Voodoo. Now this is a Halfords brand bike. Brand new would be about 2,200-ish. So it's 400 quid less. But equally, they're out of stock. So you want a bike, this is your option. This is a buy it now. And this one is in Herne Bay, which is Kent. And it's got a nice little write-up. What I do like is it's got a mud guard on and a pack. So it looks like someone who's probably not been, dropping it down the side of mountains. Gnarly riders tend not to have mud guards, if I'm honest. So awesome bike, less than 500 miles. It's got the Bosch, which is great. They're actually quite a good spec bike if you don't mind the branding. So well worth a look. But bear in mind at 500 miles, you still may have to replace a crank. The trick to do this is put it in each gear and really stand your weight on that pedal and start it spinning. If it starts to click or slip, then it's time for that chain and crank. You're not going to spend a lot of money, but a lot of electric bikes do need it quite quickly. I bought one with less than 300 miles on it, needed one. Because people change gear when they first get one without pausing in power. So it tends to wear them down quite quickly. Okay, so stepping up in price, we've got, for just over the £2,000 mark, we've got a Vitus. And these are incredibly popular. I'm not a big fan of this battery integration. But it is a really well-spec'd bike, and I have several people who I know ride them and they love them. So don't let that put you off. And again, the experience between the £2,000 bike and the £4,000 bike won't be £2,000 better. You'll just be a better spec bike and possibly a bit newer. So again, buy it now. This isn't a buy it now, interestingly. This is bids, and it's ticking down. It's got a day left on it. Currently about £2,000. But again, they're a nice bike. This one's a 219 in medium, and it's done about 800 miles. But this is nice. It's had a new front tyre and it's had a new crank. So it's going to be in good condition, and that's quite nice to know that it's had that work done to it. So stepping up in price a little further, we've got a Specialized Turbo Levo. These are massively popular. You will not lose money on one of these. And this is a really nice example. It's in size large and is buy it now, but it's got make an offer. So it's worth having a chat with them, asking what they're looking for, a bit about the bike. You could probably get that down a little bit. But there's a couple of things I really like about this. One is the guy's 61. Good luck to him. That's brilliant. One of my group here. It's 218. It's done 1,200 miles. It's had a bit of use. He's recharged it 41 times, which is fine. That's not a heavy life. He's bought the same model but a newer one, which is great. He's obviously loved the bike, but this is the bit I love. Been to the main dealer, Specialized dealer, 400 quid with receipts. Had everything it needs. This bike is ready to go. You're not going to spend a penny on this for a season or two. So that gives me a lot of confidence. And they're a great spec bike. So, I think this would be a very, very safe buy. Stepping up slightly more in price to the £3,000 mark is a Focus Jam 2. Now, I have one of these, and these are exceptionally good bikes. I love the brand as well, the Focus brand. The guys are really great there. They're a German team. Love the ethos. They're very friendly, very helpful. Now, this is a slightly different concept bike. So you might look at it and think, ooh, what is that ugliness? But that ugliness is the second battery. Where the word Focus is, inside there is your primary battery. Now, I don't have this second battery. It's an optional extra. And I think it costs about 500 and certainly trades on eBay for about 400. So you could buy this complete bike with the second battery and almost sell that for 400 quid and bring the price down to 2.6, and then it's really starting to be a very good buy. But it adds range. Without the second battery, a couple of hours, but I mean that's a couple of hours hard ride mountain stuff. But if you want a big epic day out, that second battery could be useful. This is in Stourbridge, and again, it's got the make and offer, so worth a chat. Spec-wise, great bike. They've got the Fox Float and the Fox Rhythm, and it's got 700 miles on the odometer. So again, I think, a very, very nice bike for the money. And this final one is the Giant Trance, depends where you're from. But again, look at it. You could eat your dinner off this bike. Okay, it's 4,000, but it's make an offer, worth a chat. But this thing is, ridiculously clean looking. And when you start to read about it as well, it's quite nice. He bought this thing in May, so, previous lockdown-ish. And has not used it since September, so it's had a few months use, been ridden, easy going, bit of gravel, and it does look like a bike that's cleaned and maintained properly, and I like that in a bike. I like someone who's fastidious, because I think you benefit from that longer term. But again, it sounds lovely. It's relatively new. I don't think you have much problems with that. It's got the keys, got all the paperwork, which you'd obviously expect. Now, not all bikes have keys, incidentally. My bike doesn't even have a slot for a key, but some of the newer bikes do. So if it has a slot, you're going to want the key to be able to operate it. But again, really nice bike, great spec. Again, on the Fox float, front and rear. Again, Giant have their own motor, but it's very, very good. And it's a great bike. Size medium, however. So maybe it's a bit small for me, but there you go. So, for my money, what would I buy? I don't know. I could be tempted with the Specialized, mainly because of that servicing. But I think I'd probably err on the side of the Focus. I would be tempted to buy that and potentially get a good deal on it, and then possibly offload this second battery, depending if I didn't use it in the first month. Then that would bring it down into the mid 2,500s, and that would be a very, very good bike. The step up from that 1,800 to that at mid 2,000s it's a bit more money, but it's a good spec step, a good quality step. Whereas the step from this 2004 to this Trance at $4,000, it's not twice the bike. It's shiny, it's new, all of that. But let's be honest, it's not twice the bike. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you do buy one, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're getting on. Be safe during lockdown, and I hope you found this insight useful.